Hello everyone. So I'm going to discuss about 11.3, which is processes of recombinant DNA technology, part 1. What are the steps in recombinant DNA technology? So first is the isolation of DNA. So here we have the isolated DNA fragment. We have the green color part, which is the DNA segment, and a desired DNA is in the form of a yellow color. So fragmentation of DNA by restriction endonucleases. So before getting this particular fragment, we need to actually before getting this particular fragment, we need to cut it from the original location. So basically a big fragment will be there. This green color part will be there. This green color part will be there from a huge DNA fragment. And this yellow color part will be there somewhere here. So we need to isolate this particular DNA fragment. And then we need to cut this particular DNA segment. So then only we have obtained something like this. Isolation of desired DNA fragment. So a desired DNA fragment is the one which is present in yellow color. So desired DNA fragment is obtained by cutting with the help of restriction endonucleases. Then ligation of the DNA fragment into a vector. So now we need to ligate, we need to glue this particular DNA fragment into the vector, and it is done with the help of an enzyme called as DNA ligase. So we have the vector here along with a DNA fragment, desired DNA fragment. Then we transfer the recombinant DNA into the host. So this particular DNA fragment that you are able to see right now, we have to transfer it to a bacterial host. So now we have transferred it, and the recombinant DNA or the DNA fragment with the cloning vector has been incorporated into the host cell. Then culturing the host cells in a medium at large scale and extraction of the desired product. So we have cultured it in a medium, and then it's actually multiplying. Many copies of the plasmid DNA with the desired DNA fragment have been made. Then what will happen is this particular DNA will actually transcribe to RNA, and then it will translate it to protein. So protein is a desired product. Protein is a desired product. Then we'll move on to nucleic acid. So nucleic acid are of two types. One is DNA, which is referred to as deoxyribonucleic acid. The other one is RNA, which is ribonucleic acid. Now we need to isolate the DNA from the rest of the macromolecules. So you need to understand one thing is that DNA is, for example, this particular red part is the DNA. Okay. And then we have DNA is not present in a pure form. Then we have proteins, which is actually in yellow form I'm showing. So it is all mixed together. Then we have RNA, which is also present here. So it is all mixed together, these molecules inside a nucleus or a cytoplasm. So we need to extract the pure form of DNA. In order to, so nucleic acid is the genetic material of all organisms without exception. So basically nucleic acid is present in all the cells. So for example, this is a bacterial cell. Certain people have DNA as a genetic material, or some people have RNA as a genetic material. But in the majority of organisms, we have DNA as a genetic material. So nucleic acid is the genetic material for all organisms without exception. In majority of organisms, this is deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. So in majority of the organisms, the genetic material is in the form of DNA. In order to cut the DNA with the restriction enzyme, it needs to be in the pure form. I told you that it's mixed with proteins and RNA. So we need to take it out from the pure form, free from other macromolecules. For example, if this is a bacterial cell, and then we have the nucleus, and we have the DNA, and then we have the proteins and RNA present in the cell, what we will want to do is we need to remove this DNA here that is present in red form. We need to remove it by rupturing the cell wall or the cell membrane of the bacterial cell or the plant cell. We have to rupture this particular, we have to break open this particular cell membrane so that we can extract the DNA. So a lot of procedures need to be done for that. I've done this experiment in my UG, so I know briefly what it is about. In order to cut the DNA with the restriction enzyme needs to be in the pure form. Now it's not in the pure form, it is in impure form. free from other macromolecules. Since the DNA is enclosed within the membrane, so basically it's enclosed within the nuclear membrane and also enclosed within the cell membrane or cell wall. We have to break the cell open. So as I said, we have to break the cell open to release the DNA along with other macromolecules such as RNA, proteins, polysaccharides, and also lipids. This can be achieved by treating the bacterial cell or plant cells with, or animal tissue with enzymes such as, I'll explain about that. So if this is a bacterial cell, it is actually made of cell membrane. The outer part is referred to as a cell membrane. If it is a bacterial cell or an animal cell, sorry, if it is an animal cell, it is or a bacterial cell, it is a cell membrane. So this can be removed with an enzyme called as lysozyme. Lysozyme attacks the cell membrane. So lysozyme is for bacteria. Then we have plant cell. So we have this plant cell, which is actually the outer membrane is nothing but the cell wall. And cell wall is made of cellulose. So the enzyme that we use here is nothing but cellulase to break open the outer membrane. And then we have fungus. The outer membrane of the fungus is nothing but chitin, which is made up of chitin. Chitin can be removed with an enzyme referred to as chitinase. So you know that genes are located on long DNAs of long molecules of DNA intertwined with proteins such as histones. Now DNA is something which is wrapped around histones. So basically this purple color part is nothing but histones. These are 4 molecules of histones, H1, H2, H3, H4, something like that. And then we have DNA molecules which are wrapped around the histone molecules. So histones are nothing but proteins. So DNA is wrapped around proteins. The RNA can be removed by ribonuclease, or it is referred to as RNase. Whereas proteins can be removed with the help of an enzyme called as protease. Now we have actually ruptured the cell membrane, and then we'll actually move to the nuclear membrane where the RNA and protein and DNA is present. So RNA can be removed by RNase, proteins can be removed by protease. And then we have the pure form of DNA. DNA can be precipitated. Now we have the DNA part in a particular centrifuge tube. Then we can remove this with the help of nothing but chilled ethanol. So other molecules can be removed by appropriate treatments, and purified DNA ultimately precipitates out after the addition of chilled ethanol. This can be seen as a collection of threads in the suspension. So I have done this experiment, and the small vial will be given and the DNA will be present. We need to add ethanol to it, and it will actually form threads in the vial, and that we can visualize. So we know that this is a DNA, and we have precipitated out the DNA molecule. So there are many methods. So basically, when we actually did 2 methods, one is the plant cells. We took the plant leaf. We extracted the DNA from the plant leaf. Another one was chicken liver. We extracted the DNA from chicken liver. So example, we have to use a mortar and pestle here. We took the plant leaf in the mortar and pestle, and then we actually nicely ground it with the chilled ethanol. And the solution was taken, and we have to centrifuge it. Okay, and then cell lysis takes place, and we have to add protease to it to remove the protein. And then finally, these are just a few steps. There are many intermediate steps involved. Then we need to precipitate the DNA with the help of an enzyme, with the help of ethanol, and then we can visualize the DNA. Another picture is shown. So any source can be used. So I told you we used plant leaf and then chicken liver. So any source can be used. Then we need to lyse the cell using the enzyme that is chitinase or cellulase and lysozyme. Then lipids and proteins are removed something by detergents. For example, we used SDS. These are actually detergents that we use to remove lipids and proteins. And then proteins is also removed with the help of an enzyme called as protease. And then other contaminants are also removed. And then RNA is actually removed with the help of an enzyme called as RNase. And then elution of the DNA takes place. We actually add ethanol to it, and we have the precipitated DNA out from the vial. Now we are going to discuss about cutting of DNA at specific locations. So we have the bacterial cell, We ruptured the cell membrane, we ruptured the nuclear membrane, we have got the DNA out. Now this DNA fragment is nothing but DNA is actually a big fragment. This chromosomal DNA is nothing but a big DNA fragment, and we need to fragmentalize the DNA. We need to obtain small parts of the DNA. We want a section of a DNA. We need, for example, we need this particular part of the DNA. So we can't. We need to fragment it. We need to cut it at different locations. So this is done with the help of an enzyme called as restriction enzyme. So restriction enzyme digestions are performed by incubating purified DNA molecules. Now we have purified the DNA molecules, we've extracted it. Then with the incubating purified DNA molecules with the restriction enzyme at the optimal conditions for that specific enzyme. Now separation and isolation of DNA fragments. The cutting of DNA by restriction enzyme results in fragments of DNA which are separated by a technique known as gel electrophoresis. Now we have taken the DNA and we have cut it at specific locations, and now they're all assembled together. They're all the fragments of DNA. We need to separate them with the help of a technique referred to as the gel electrophoresis. Okay, so this is how gel electrophoresis looks like. I've explained it in my previous videos also. So we have this wells here. In these wells, the DNA is actually loaded. Okay, and this light blue color part that you're seeing is nothing but the agarose gel. This particular small, I mean, it's translucent here. So this is referred to as the agarose gel, which is the matrix. And now this is a negative electrode. So DNA is negatively charged. So it has to be incorporated somewhere here because it's negatively charged. And this particular positive electrode is nothing but the anode, which is positively charged. So DNA moves from negative charge to the positive charge. Okay. And then as it moves, the larger fragments stay at the top because they're heavy and they slowly move. And then we have the smaller fragments which are actually present in the bottom. So they move according to the size, which is important. They move according to the size. The larger fragments remain at the top. For example, if this is a agarose gel and these are the wells that are present, the larger fragments will be at the top, heavier fragments, and the smaller fragments will be at the bottom if they're moving in this direction. That is about gel electrophoresis. So DNA is negatively charged molecule, hence it moves towards the positive charge, which is the positive electrode, which is the anode. The process is repeated with the vector DNA also. The joining of DNA involves several processes. After having cut the source DNA as well as the vector DNA with a specific restriction enzyme, and cut out the gene of interest from the source DNA and cut vector with the space, and mixed with ligase as added. This results in the preparation of recombinant DNA. So this is nothing but they have explained this particular procedure again. So they have taken the desired DNA fragment, they have cut the plasmid DNA here somewhere. So plasmid DNA is cut and the desired DNA is also cut from the segment of DNA, and then we ligate it with the help of an enzyme called as DNA ligase, and then we have the recombinant DNA. Now we cannot visualize properly. We cannot visualize the bands properly in a well. Okay, so if you have added dye, then it's okay. But we need to visualize it properly. So this is done by immersing them in a solution containing ethidium bromide. So this is very dangerous chemical. It is carcinogenic. It causes cancer. You need to wear gloves while doing this experiment. And you need to immerse it in ethidium bromide followed by exposure to the UV radiation. Then only when you're exposed to UV radiation, you will observe, like in a computer, you will observe like orange color bands. And if you take a photograph, they'll be like a gray colored bands. So you can see bright orange colored bands of the DNA and ethidium bromide stained gel exposed to UV light. The separated bands of DNA are cut out from the agarose gel. Now we actually visualize the DNA fragments. Now the separated DNA fragments can be cut out from the gel itself. This step is known as elution. So this can come for 3 marks or 2 marks. What do you mean by elution? So remember this. It is the separated bands of DNA are cut out from the agarose gel. So bands of DNA cut out from the agarose gel, and this is referred to as elution. So the DNA fragments purified in this way are used in constructing recombinant DNA by joining them with cloning vectors. So basically, this particular segment of DNA we've obtained this is, for example, this blue color part is actually our desired DNA. By restriction enzyme, we actually took it out, and then we can put it inside a cloning vector. Inside a cloning vector, this will be a cloning vector along with the desired DNA fragment. So thank you for watching my video. If you did like my video, please share and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, please mention them in the comments down below. So thank you for watching.